morning.
Good morning. Sorry, a little close?
No,
a little loud?
wasn't.
I don't know what's going on.
No, it was one of those. I recognize that good morning. It's that I'm still asleep. Good morning. You're like, you've pushed it out.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I know that. Good morning.
I think my eyes might be closed too. Like they're open. But they're not.
I feel you.
Good morning, fiancés.
Morning, y'all.
How's the day so far? Tell to
us.
Are you running on zero sleep like I am?
Are you just rolling over in bed? I'd love to listen to us from bed. I don't know how much sleep I'd get. Like, turn over, hit news of my fiance, and then get all riled up. Maybe that's why people like the show. It riles them up in the morning, and then they go off into their day, ready to, spark revolutions.
Man, I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
I would definitely not be able to sleep through that.
No.
And something's got to happen, y'all, because things are getting crazy. What a week. Is it every week that we say this?
Yeah,
what a week.
It is.
What a week.
What is that saying?
What a week. How many weeks has it been since the orcas have decided
they've had enough? We're not going to take it?
That they're going to do their part.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, I see.
Yeah, we've waited long enough.
We've waited long enough. We've given you the opportunity.
We've heard about your justice. We've heard about your justice. We're going to handle things our own way. They're vigilantes.
The sonar that is just the regular, built-in sound system of the whales.
Yeah. They legit.
They were like, it's the billionaires. And that just resonated on the bottom of the ocean floor.
Could you imagine if this was like a hit? Like if the orcas damaged the sub on the way down?
I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
Oh.
Is there an if?
The way your eye just squinted, like, come on.
Where is the Meg? Aren't we on at least a sequel or a third?
Yeah.
The Meg is out.
This is
okay.
This is definitely fodder for Meg 3.
I have seen Jason Statham run on a broken dock or boardwalk, a pier, if you will, and escape the Meg. But you know what he had in that moment?
What, a knife?
Oxygen.
Oh yeah, it's true.
And the ability to run because he wasn't bolted in.
Mm-hmm.
To
a vessel piloted with
vessel,
a PlayStation controller. Knockoff PlayStation controller.
With a PlayStation controller that is controlled by someone else. With no communication. No, what's it called? It's not a tow, but like when you're attached to another.
Yeah.
Tethered. We ain't tethered or nothing. They ain't seen the movie Us once. This is why we need to celebrate Black films on a far more regular basis. Ambush, really?
What happened? On a far more regular basis?
You not paying attention to my incredibly funny joke.
I was making sure it was in focus mode, and it's just proof. That's what I was doing.
So you were staring at your phone that you're not supposed to be looking at because you're supposed to be focused?
No, I was making sure it was in focus mode so I wouldn't get any, notifications.
Uh-huh.
All right, give it to me.
But you were not notified by person sitting directly in front of you speaking into a microphone.
Wow. You know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to apologize.
Go on.
You're right. It's 7:38 in the morning. And if jokes are going to land, someone needs to be there to receive them.
That's all I'm saying.
You know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope someone else chuckled at the tethered joke there.
Okay.
But doesn't matter, Ambush.
It really doesn't matter. The organizing, because that's what it is, guys. We're watching the orcas organize. This is organizing at its finest. I was really surprised when you made me aware that they are communicating with other whales, and hey man, the families are talking. Okay,
relatives.
This is organized crime.
Okay, first of all, it's not crime. I'd rather call this a family reunion. Is it crime?
No.
If someone's invading and terrorizing your home?
No, they're all in your backyard, kidnapping your babies, and then they're ripping out your farms because what am I eating now? You're taking all the fish. Like, yeah, no,
yeah,
it's not no.
But it's so much more than that. That human activity is not just messing up the air up here or just messing up the weather patterns. It's all of it. We have been ruining the ocean because there are so many people that are like, I gotta make this disappear.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay for the things that make you disappear it. Dump it in the ocean because clearly nothing lives there.
The amount of plastics and microplastics that are in the ocean and that have washed up on the beach as fine sand is ridiculous. Like, we've ruined ruined.
I mean, when you see a big, like a whale or a dolphin, like when you see big animals, what's it called?
Beaching themselves?
Yeah, when they're beached. Mm-hmm. And then you see all of these plastics in their mouth. Mm-hmm. Just like, that's all they've gotten to eat that day is humans' junk.
Right.
Really makes you think.
It takes a mountain of acrobatics to be able to see that clear connection, right? Animal beaches itself, open the mouth, filled with human waste. It takes a mountain of acrobatics to see that and say, well, this is just nature. And we don't have any effect on the ecosystem. Like, come on, you know how much water there is out there? This thing swam to where the trash was, and it's not smart enough to know don't eat trash. Like, I am spent, bro. Like, spizzant.
Well, and clearly so are they. So, the solidarity with the orcas that are out here actually attacking yachts.
Bruh.
Getting them, I mean, all of them had, at least so far, have had actual communication with, a place that could help them. Unlike the Titan that can't talk to nobody, But I would, want to go back to the idea of one of these majestic creatures happening upon this pill-like thing.
Right.
That is made of all of the wrong stuff to be at the depths of the sea that it is.
Bruh.
Batting it around, like the Meg is going to have something to say about deep sea tourism and,
wow,
coming down and taking a peek at the shipwrecks and the
wow. So the update you gave me,
dinosaurs, you guys,
right?
I mean, do you understand that the Meg is
a dinosaur?
And Jason Statham knows it.
Okay, listen. One of the things you told me is that the orcas have now started communicating with other whales, pull them into their ranks and say, hey, need you to get on code. And,
I'd like to be clear that I use none of these words, but yes.
And we got to take more of these ships down. There's only so many orcas out here, guys, and they're responsible. You want next, or you want to make sure we get all these ships up out of here? That's what's happening. And you mean to tell me, I just keep seeing scientists on the news saying, and we're just not sure what could lead them to this behavior. It's somewhat playful, I suppose.
I don't know why they're doing that. I mean, I feel like if you have spent your life and your life's work is being able to explain the behavior of certain animals,
right.
And just from the few documentaries I've seen about sea-dwelling creatures,
right,
there's not a whole lot to guess about.
No.
They have been done dirty. They are, I mean, these are the oldest, like they've been here, fam.
Yeah. And you're constantly telling us how smart they are.
They're incredibly smart. Their communication is outrageously effective.
Right.
They can talk to each other miles and miles away from each other.
That's cray, bro.
They have individual pods, have their own languages, own cultures. Like, you can understand all of that. And then you can look at a pod of orcas taking no, what's the word?
Prisoners?
Sure. And be like, this is a real head scratcher.
Right. Ugh, what do you make of this?
Man, I wonder what they're thinking out there now.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I wonder why they're doing that. What?
You should be wondering why it took them this long to do that.
Literally, they are shouting from the ocean, this should radicalize you.
You know what's really interesting, though?
Hey, we'll take care of it. What?
I kind of see why these biologists would be confused and why they would. I think in some ways they're honestly confused, and then others are just, there's some cognitive dissonance happening there. I don't know. They've been waiting for Black people to launch arms in revenge for centuries.
The orcas? I would want to make sure I'm paying attention.
The white establishment.
Oh, okay.
And it hasn't happened. Because that's not what we want. It's just not what we want. Those aren't the means we wish to take for liberation. However, nature doesn't care about politics, doesn't care about optics, any of that. And I think because it hasn't happened yet, it's as much brilliance as they're attributing to the species. They're still like, revenge? What? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Why are you bringing up old stuff? What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's to me very telling what you can and can't see in the moments, especially for those with the expertise of certain things.
Bruh. You're blind, fam.
But I get it.
Wow.
They're hard to understand.
You know what else is hard to understand?
Which is it?
That Oregonians want to pump their own gas. I find that.
Ambush, don't get me started.
Don't you? I will stand up in this thing.
Okay, here's the thing. Are there Oregonians that want to pump their own gas? Yes. Is there an instance in which this is helpful? Rural Oregon, late night driving,
Right.
No one's there, but you need gas and you don't want to have to stop at what looks like a ghost town and get stuck there. Totes get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me pump my own gas in that moment.
Sure.
I don't understand the people that live in the city that are like, you know what I need to be able to do? I need to be able to do a thing that I don't ever do. Because I don't ever do it because here you can't do it. I need to be able to do that thing to get to work on time. Or that.
You know what's going to happen. In that same scenario that you're describing, where this person is rushing to get to work on time, which is an impossibility because you left home late. You're going to get to this gas station, and you're going to rush to make the transaction, and you're going to screw it up, and you're going to screw it up. Because again, you don't know how to operate these things. You don't.
All of a sudden, there's gas on your hands.
Yeah. And which card did I use? And why is it still running? And I need someone to come help me. And now...
How come I can't just pay right here? Why does it say pay inside?
Oh, Lordy. Do y'all want that message?
I mean, seriously, I really wish that people would have thought this through. You ain't seen one meme on the internet? One where I will leave here if I can't just pay for the thing right here.
Dog.
Now I got to come in. Not only do I have to abandon my vehicle,
right,
with the gas thing open, I have to go inside. To which there's definitely a line. There's where your line is. There's the line. So you got to go in there.
Just triggering me.
Wait for one of the two cashiers, but only one is clearly, ringing people up. The other one is on break, I guess.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Or restocking and ignoring the customers. Yeah.
Now you got to wait to pay. Then you got to go back out there and get to pumping. Anyway.
Bruh, that's
good for this state being like, we should definitely do that. And here's my deal. When you're inconvenienced, when you're like, or say you're not from here and you have moved here, and for some reason it is, a hitch in your craw that you are unable to pump your own gas.
Wait, a hitch in your craw? I've never heard. Okay.
I'm
sorry. Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure it's the same. Fiancés, can you please set him straight? I don't have time right now, and he's trying to distract me.
I'm not.
You are. Now I've lost my place.
It was hitching in the craw.
Well, if you're upset that you don't get to pump your own gas, well, I guess happy day for you. This will go into effect immediately if when the governor signs this.
Cool.
Which is just that, to be clear, full service gas stations are not going away. It is, they will now have the opportunity to make up to half of their pumps self-service. But when you're inconvenienced, I just want to get back to this point, when you're annoyed, you being annoyed, or, you want so badly to be in control of, again, how late you are to work. When all of that aligns with, the fossil fuel industry and the...
Speak on it, because I think they missed that part.
When that aligns and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Yeah, let's do the thing they've been asking for decades. Let's take away a couple jobs. I have a feeling that the people that complain about not being able to pump their own gas also have feelings and opinions about who's working and how much those people get paid, and to make sure that they are not people in tents on the street. Those folks will lose jobs. Those jobs many of those will go away. Yep. That is the point of the industry, trying to get you to be the one who pumps your gas.
Man, you guys missed the mark.
Because where does the liability go to? It changes a little bit.
Let me tell you something right now. As these self-service lines get longer, it's you guys I'm going to be upset with. It's you. I'm going to shake my fist at the heavens and, wish that you stub your toe that day. I'm going to be upset. It's nonsense. Again, if you moved here and you miss pumping your gas, move somewhere else.
No, you don't even have to do that. What? We don't need to tell people to leave. You have a state right next to you.
Where?
Washington. That gives you the opportunity to get out of your car when it's raining, when it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
Whip out that pump, that nozzle. The opportunities are around you. Take a road trip. But don't
Don't ruin this for the rest of us.
We need this.
Yeah, don't ruin this for the rest of us.
Because I'm tired.
Yeah.
And the last thing I need is for more work.
Right. Why are you taking away someone else's work? I don't want that. We did get a text earlier, right before we switched little opening topics here. The orcas are reminding us of an inviolable law. Nature bats last. It's non-negotiable, and there are no appeals.
Oh.
Yeah, there's non-negotiable is really what people need to remember here. There's no one to talk to about this. Let's come together at the table and find something that works for the both of us. Wait, there's no
Orca King negotiator?
Not happening.
Oh, no.
Aquaman ain't real.
Wow.
And the reviews on the second movie are early reviews.
Well, I don't know what that was supposed to mean. I'm unsure.
Oh, it's not good.
So, like the Flash.
Yeah. Underwhelmed at the box office.
What it sounds like to me is DC is doing great.
You know how great they're doing.
Warner Brothers was like, let me show you what we can do.
That old Jimmy Gunn, before Flash's opening weekend, announced that, the one of the best movies that I've ever seen, The Flash. Guess who the director is of that? Guess what else he's directing? Batman: Brave and the Bold. Huh? How you like that? Yeah, we're going to be killing it over here. And then the movie flops.
Whoops.
Jimmy, keep it down. Jimmy, keep it down, bro.
Fiancés, I know that this is something that's probably very easily Googleable, but how did Jimmy become a nickname for James?
I don't know.
Does anybody?
Yeah.
Can y'all help me out?
Yeah. Steven. That makes sense. Bob and Robert.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either.
Speaking of Bobbert, that's not what you said.
That's a good one.
We are going to talk about a few things. We will have real stories. It won't just be me. Breathing heavy into the mic, saying how tired I am and that I stand with the orcas, but I do.
It's true.
Got a few. In local news, the Portland police are still covering their hoods with whoopsie daisies. In national news, Sarah Palin walked, so Messy Boebert could force an impeachment vote, but not so fast. Father Patriarchy McCarthy would like to have a word with the little miss.
Oh, man.
Hopefully we're able to get to the other stories. The Greece officials failed to help the sinking boat that happened to be smuggling. Now we're up to 800 people on that boat.
Yeah.
And time and oxygen is running out for the 5 gawkers on the missing Titanic Tour.
Right.
That is, in fact, taking place somewhere in the ocean. But we wouldn't know because that vessel has absolutely zero ability to communicate at this point.
Let me tell you right now, there are tons of exclusive tours out there. One of which, Renaissance. I would love. Give me action at Renaissance, not at seeing the Titanic.
Real quick, did you happen to see the video clip of at the end of the night on one of these tours? Not one of them, one of the shows in Amsterdam. Second night in Amsterdam, I think. That's questionable. I'm not trying to...
on the European leg.
Yeah, not trying to do any false information. Wait, fake news is what they call it.
Yes.
Ooh, this brain is going to work. Something happened, and she could not get off the horse. Not a real horse, friends.
Right.
And had to Beyonce just continues performing. But there is a look that she gives the stage crew when like one of them comes up and does the wrong thing and is just like, I just know they had a meeting that evening. You know, everybody had to have a talk. Everyone had to have a talk.
I'm going to tell you right now what I don't want.
You left Mother sitting on a horse out there during the finale of her show.
No. Man's put me in trouble just now. I don't even... What do you mean? Get her... And do it in the most discreet way. Now, everything back to part one. How do we do this? Phase one. Start there. What's happening wrong? Because you're wilding.
We got a text.
Uh-oh. You started laughing. Who is this?
Well, I'm not going to say who I think it is because I don't like when I get it wrong. And trying to figure people out from phone numbers that they are numbers.
Haven't memorized, yeah.
I am dyslexic. They are a mess. It says, it won't just be me heavy breathing into the mic and saying I stand with the orcas. Good morning, and thank you for the disclaimer I will use on every Zoom call today. It was all worth it.
That was hilarious. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't even care who it is. We have some great
But I think it's Michelle. Good morning, Michelle.
We have some great listeners, bro.
We did receive a text. Happy Rudeteenth. It's happening, my X-ray fam. Rudo!
Rude.
Good morning.
So I have up to issue 20 in Stable Spine. Am I missing one? Did 21 drop? Let me know. 21.
He did actually yell this out the other day.
Did 21 dropped?
No, you were like, do I have the latest? And I was like, where did that even come from?
Sorry. I've been needing to know.
Yeah, you be needing to know.
I've been needing to know.
I forgot to, at the top of this show, I forgot to, update what had happened. So this was a jam-packed weekend. Important things. Are you ready? There was a Father's Day.
There was.
There was Juneteenth.
There was.
And there was my birthday.
Bruh. It was a lot. There's a lot going on this weekend.
I know that you guys did a lot of things for other stuff, What did you do to celebrate my birthday?
Yeah. What did you guys do? We went to go see Spider-Verse.
That is not what we did for my birthday. We did that for Father's Day.
Babe.
They just happened to share the day, but that was not
It was
a gift to me.
Well,
it certainly was, but it was not a gift for me.
Nice. Okay. Bars, wordplay. Okay.
Don DeMarco.
Yes. Metaphors, meta 5,
no.
meta 6.
Okay, slow down.
What? No?
Meta 5.
The metaphors 5s and 6s, bro. You're killing it.
Yeah, that was for you.
Okay.
We got benefit.
What did you guys do with your Sunday?
Yeah.
Let us know.
You tell us.
Yeah.
While you're gathering all of your intel and your information.
Right.
Ambush, I want to know what is happening in this here little sleepy city that we call Portlandia.
You talking about training? Training. Not the streets. Not the patrols. Training? Shout out to Alex Zelinsky with the amazing reporting over at OPB. Alex!
We miss you!
It's so great. A new report found that the Portland Police Bureau has been rejecting visas, U visas, at an alarming rate. U visas are special visas that protect undocumented people who have been victims of violent crimes from deportation for up to 4 years. The fall report found that the Police Bureau rejected more than half of all U visas requested in 2021 and the first half of 2022. The average rejection rate for U visas among all Oregon police departments is just 20%. The investigation found that the Police Bureau rejections were often based on misunderstandings of the law or misstatements of facts from police reports. In some cases, victims were even rejected because they were not the intended target of the crime. I can't. This is a serious problem that is having a real impact on immigrant communities in Portland. After reviewing 200 U visas applications, 53 appeared to meet the federal program's qualifications. That's more than 4 dozen victims of violent crimes who were denied the opportunity to apply for visas they may have been eligible for. The report made a number of recommendations to address this problem, including providing more training to police officers on U visa requirements, using proficient interpreters when communicating with crime victims, and considering applications that were wrongly rejected, and reconsidering applications that were wrongly rejected. The Police Bureau rejects some of the findings, but has said that it will consider the 46 rejected applications if applicants have new information to add to their case. A spokesperson...
Say that again. Okay. Stop. No.
I'll run it back. The Police Bureau rejects some of the findings, but it said that it will reconsider the 46 rejected applications if applicants have new information to add to their case. A spokesperson for the Latino network Latino network that is unacceptable that the Police Bureau is putting the onus on the applicants to provide more information before their application is re-reviewed. Quote, these applications were identified because on their face, a denial was questionable.
Hello.
The Portland Police Bureau's actions, quote, threaten to undermine its mission to solve crime and protect the community, and, quote, conflicted with the city's policy of making Portland a welcoming and safe place for immigrants, and more broadly, with the city's equitable goals, the report said. Mayor Ted Wheeler, who oversees the Police Bureau, applauded the Bureau for agreeing to reconsider applicants if alleged victims offer new information.
Ambush, let me tell you why I'm mad, son.
Thank you for answering my question before I asked it, because that was indeed what I want to know right now. Tell me why you mad, son.
Yo, this is the kind of thing that, number one, everybody should read Alex's piece, because there's, plenty more detail, and it's not like we can just read an entire article on the show. But there's so much more detail in her piece explaining that of those, 53 applications that appeared to actually be bad rejections, right?
Right.
They looked at 3 of them and they were like, all right, you're right. And, approve those. And then say, yeah, for the rest of these, if you guys have new information, we can maybe talk about it.
New information from a victim standpoint.
New information from a victim standpoint. But new information in what regard, sir? Your agency has already been found to not have done this comprehensively. So all this information is going to be new to you, sir. Y'all didn't read it right in the first place. So we're supposed to deal with that? We're supposed to bring you new evidence because now all of a sudden this is a court of law? And not the investigative stage? But meanwhile, you will leave these people in peril?
I'm going to ask the ever important question that Morgan always asks. Who is this for? Bruh. Because the feds are saying that these cases qualify. Here's the thing, though. Before this report took place, there was a policy. There was a degree. There were several degrees of decisions that were made that said, "Hey, this is how we're going to handle immigrant cases." That discussion was had already within the confines of the PPB, or whoever handed down this idea to the PPB, saying, "Hey, this is how we want you to handle migrant crime. Crimes committed against immigrants. This is how we want you to handle that. We understand that there's this U visa thing happening that will give them the opportunity to, stick around maybe longer than we want. So this is how we want you to handle it. Then there's the report. PPB gets caught with their hands in the cookie jar. And it's like, well, now what we're going to do is re-review. Like, this isn't like we're watching an organization do the ridiculous thing. But we're never confused that they're doing someone else's bidding. So, and we constantly communicate that. This is an arm of other entities meant to protect property, oppress, so many different systems that it serves. So it's like, Chuck Lavelle, who are you carrying water for right now? Because this is a really silly thing. Ted Wheeler, this is a really silly thing to say. I applaud them for their re-review, for having a meeting about a meeting. I applaud them. Do you?
Well, if your job is to uphold white supremacy, then yeah. Yeah. And if you are still confused on how, non-white people can uphold white supremacy, again, I'm going to point you right in the direction of any single person, non-white person in the field of policing, in law enforcement, is in fact upholding white supremacy. I know it's hard to hear. Even your dad is doing it.
Right.
If your dad is law enforcement. That may not be their point. That may not be what they got into the field for. Right. That may not be what they want to believe. But it is all at the end where the rubber meets the road.
There we go. That's a new one.
That job is to do that. It's a mechanism. And to pretend as if it isn't just because you want it not to be, or you want to not be associated with that, or you don't want to be adjacent. You either have to get out of that field or you have to talk to your family. You have to learn more. They have to learn more, But the entire point of, am I not too long?
No, not at all.
The entire point of this visa, this specialty visa, is to be able to, one, keep people safe, whether they are documented or not.
Right.
And we know that when people are victims of violent crimes, often they do not report because they are too scared.
Right.
And if you have the added layer of potential deportation, you might not ever say anything. Right. And you may continue to get to be terrorized by certain folks because you don't have the idea that you can find relief or support and protection elsewhere. Also, the police are supposed to want to solve crimes. And this is supposed to help them solve crimes because now you have made it safe for someone to come forward. You have made it safe for someone to help in the investigation because you want to close that case. Close that case. So in 2020, we are all hopefully old enough to remember when the police pretended to be defunded. This is when those numbers started dropping.
Yep.
And the more that we get reporting about what has been happening since 2020, I want you with the police, with certain government agencies. I really want you to pay attention to where those lines intersect and connect. Because we said it then, we will say it now. The police quit working, lied to everybody. Said, they don't want us here.
Yep.
That group of people downtown in that 3-block radius, they hate us. They make it so hard
think about any other job that you could be on where you can say, hey, they don't like me, so I'm going to stop doing work.
I'm going to show up every day and I'm definitely going to continue to get paid, but I'm not going to do my job.
Because they don't like me. The guys in the mailroom.
They're actually just like not smiling at me and thanking me every time I walk outside.
Bruh, no one's happy to see me.
Yeah. They say they don't want us here.
We got a text. Any other industry will be canceled for this level of competency, incompetency, and harm as the police.
They need to go. No question. Fully agree. And also don't, I don't have it in me anymore to be like, I wonder why this is happening. It's on purpose. The police made a decision. Then I get that it is so hard for me to say this word. Ombudsman. Yes.
Ombudsman.
The report is basically explaining, hey, this thing worked. It looked like you were doing well, and then you decided you're not going to do well anymore.
Mm.
And how do I say this? There's not a good reason that a serious law enforcement officer, and when I say serious, I mean who takes seriously the things they say they do.
Right.
To know that there are people that are being that are victims of crime, violent crimes. I mean, and that's the other thing. Sorry, I'm all over the place. But the U visa has 28 qualifying crimes. It's not like I got a paper cut or this guy pushed me over.
Or you stole my parking space and we got into a fight.
You stole my parking space and
we're arguing.
No, we're talking violent crimes. For there to be a moment where you're like, we don't need to approve more of these.
Right.
Like, so basically what the report is saying is that it gave them, shot them some bail, gave them some grace, said, this looks like there's a opportunity in training here. It looks like you guys, you don't have all the up-to-date information. You don't have
that's what they call it.
A training.
It's a teachable moment.
It's a teachable moment. And Chuck was like, hey, man, we've been trained on this in 2018.
Bruh.
And also, we've been searching for updated training, but didn't find any until recently. So now we will, in fact, be having a training this year. So, thought you thought.
And it's like, again, you want victims of crimes to come forward. You would love for victims of violent crimes to come forward.
Except you don't.
Right. And here they are coming forward, and you're like, not you, not your crime.
Literally.
I'm cool on that.
And have fun getting deported.
Right.
The other thing to point out is that this is not the police granting this visa. All the police have to do is sign off saying, yes, this person was a victim of a violent crime. That's it. So imagine being that person, being a gatekeeper at that spot. There isn't a guarantee that they are going to get that visa.
Right.
But they're certainly guaranteed not to get it if you won't say that they were a victim of a crime, of a violent crime. And who does that serve?
Right.
That's it. That's it. Like sit with who does that serve? High turnover, no training, all these things. Like what the police continue to show us is that they are not equipped to handle any of the things they're in charge of.
They wouldn't handle so much too.
They will tell us in this is them telling us we can't handle this portion. This is a thing that we can't do. We can't keep up. with the law that hasn't changed. Like nothing changed since 2018, but we can't keep up. Okay. And then when somebody comes along and says, we have a solution, you can't keep up. What I have noticed here is you can't keep up with this thing. Yes, I can. Whoa. Didn't you just say that you can't keep up?
Did you guys get defunded?
So now I'm here saying I realize you can't keep up and I've got a solution for you and you're no longer going to have to be the ones that grant that. And now you are screaming about being defunded.
I cannot.
So will you do it correctly or not? What more money do you need to be able to read the thing that tells you what the rules are? This does not fly.
No.
In any other circumstance.
No. The re-reviewing is the clear communicator of how they want to handle this. The fact that they created another level of bureaucracy in the pursuit of these victims gaining justice, there's nowhere else for this particular part of the issue. There literally is nowhere else to place. Like, this is squarely on your shoulders, squarely, to say, cool, or as you so eloquently put it, it was hilarious. The police said, we double-checked our work. We found 3 mistakes. If you think you know so much, bring new evidence and we'll recheck our work. I thought you guys hated bureaucracy. I thought you guys just wanted to do the thing. You just want
the bosses to get rid of the red tape.
So you can get your job
done. In there and get dirty.
But you create an additional layer of crap for you to wade through.
Because they're not going to, and that's the entire point.
Zero intention.
So I know we got to move on, but I have to absolutely say you cannot reform this. This is what reform looks like. Chuck Leavell's leadership is reform.
Right.
Sit with it.
Right.
Like, for real. Right. That's a choice. You have so many different choices. One of which is saying, wow, we really messed up. Lots of high turnover. Remember when you guys defunded us?
Right.
We couldn't keep people. That one's on you. Give us that. Instead, this dude is just like, nah, what that report says really isn't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we be knowing what we're doing, but we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
But since you know so much,
bring us more evidence.
And we'll take another peek at it.
So, again, you're right. We have to get ready to switch lanes. But the story the case you told, the case you presented to me last night was about a woman that was sexually assaulted. Right?
Yes.
And there's think about that. I need you to bring me additional evidence so we can revisit this case. What additional evidence do you think a victim who's already given testimony to you and you've taken down all the notes in the case file, what additional evidence of someone who was a victim of a sexual crime?
Mm-hmm.
There isn't any, right? Because you're scraping your heads what could, I don't know. There isn't any. So just say no.
Well, and in that particular case, they did. They did. She was rejected twice. And that is part of the reason there's an investigation. Because she was like, hey, man, this is a domestic violence issue. And that is listed right here as something that is qualifying. There were witnesses. The cop that took the statement in the first place was like, there's no corroborating evidence for it. But there's witness statements.
Who's that guy?
So rejected twice. And then, oh, shoot, they're investigating us? I guess we should probably give that lady a visa. We'll probably say yes to that one. There were multiple, that's why I'm saying, read Alex's story. There are multiple examples of people and their situations in which They are left out to dry by the people that are sworn to protect and serve. And there should never be a distinction. There should never be those people are undocumented. Those people they're not citizens. Like, if you say that, seriously sit and think about how that sounds. Those people aren't what? People?
Right.
Those people aren't people? Those people aren't victims of violent crimes?
Just ain't the land of the free home of the brave? What type of obligation?
I mean, just the pro law and order crowd that's like lock them up if there was a violent crime. Now all of a sudden you don't want to get to the bottom of it? We gotta go.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick. We're not going, guys. Take a quick music break. That was pretty heavy. It rang off.
And what did you say we were doing with that? Heading to the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah.
Looking for cuckoo cod.
Hello. Huh? Y'all not fooling me, billionaires. We know what you were down there looking for. Trying to get your hands on some vibranium. Titanic.
Find the opening to Wakanda.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. Morgan.
Because they just can't catch a break, Ambush.
Let me ask you something.
Oh, yeah.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
The multiverse is out there. The billionaire version of you, who the you version of you would not like because you are a billionaire there.
Mm-hmm.
Step into their shoes, huh? Step into their Air Forces. No.
Ooh.
Air Maxes. Step into their Air Maxes. Dior ones. And say to yourself, Billionaire Morgan, do I want to get in a submarine the size of a minivan whose controls are a knockoff PlayStation controller and go see a old shipwreck that is the most famous shipwreck in the history of shipwrecks, and there are oodles of documentaries and AR.
I'm gonna stop you here. Okay. I'm gonna let you know that I barely made it through the James Cameron or whoever.
I think
is it James Cameron? Yeah. Whoever did the Titanic, I barely made it through that 18-hour movie that they put out with what's his face. Dang, why can't I remember anything? Thank you, Lord.
Young DeCap.
I barely made it through that. I don't care. I don't. Billionaire version of Morgan doesn't care. Billionaire version of Morgan is like, does the Titanic pose a problem to any of the orcas down there? Because maybe we should pull that out then.
Right.
Because this is stupid.
What is the obsession with the Titanic anyways?
I would love to know. I would absolutely love to know. It is a vessel of class warfare. Why do we want to talk about it? That's what the SS class warfare is what it should be called. It is literally a microcosm of classism. And people are like, oh, give me the third version.
Not the SS class warfare.
I don't understand why anybody wants to watch anything about that. Like the next version is that boat that just went down in Greece.
Yeah.
Another class warfare boat. Like, nah, I don't know why people want to see the Titanic. Y'all have all the information. There is a traveling exhibit right now. You know what I mean? No, I don't understand.
Like, on the real, there is zero left to discover about the Titanic. Zero. You
can't have a 3-hour James Cameron movie if there's more to talk about. Can you? I don't know. I feel like that's a lot. Also, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if he did that movie.
I haven't even Googled it because I don't care.
That's exactly correct.
Right.
I don't feel like it's slander either way.
Right.
Let me tell you this story real fast. And then we can do all of the rest.
Tell to me.
Because the billionaires just absolutely cannot catch a break. First, you got orcas coming after some of them, and then the other ones are like, I want to go on a Titanic tour.
Right.
On a thing with no windows. A tourist submersible, which is different than a submarine, if anybody is wondering. A tourist submersible that was on a dive to the Titanic wreck site in the North Atlantic Ocean has gone missing. The Titan, a 22-foot submersible, was carrying 5 people, including a British billionaire and a French deep sea search expert. They lost contact with its support ship on Sunday about an hour and 45 minutes into its dive. And I want you guys to know what that means. On the same day that it left is the same day that it went missing.
Right.
Experts are now revealing the safety concerns about the vessel that had been raised as far back as 2018.
That's pre-Panini.
That's way pre-Panini. The Coast Guard is currently conducting a search and rescue operation for the sub, using a variety of assets, including helicopters, ships, and underwater drones. Bringing out the rovers, too, to get down to the bottom of it.
Yeah, man.
Multiple aircrafts detected underwater noise in the area, and although they don't know what the noises are, they say it's a good thing that they're searching in the area that they were detected. So far, there has been no sign of the submersive or its passengers. Will Conan, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, the chair of the Marine Technology Society Submarine Committee, said, quote, "We've been aware of this project for some time and have had some concerns."
Give it to me, Will.
He further explained that the main concern was a lack of oversight and adherence to industry-accepted safety guidelines. Most companies in the industry follow a well-established framework of certification and verification, but OceanGate's project aimed to operate without that type of official oversight. Additionally, a former director of marine operations at OceanGate, David Lockridge, raised safety concerns around the same time and alleged that he was fired for doing so. Lockridge claimed that the company wasn't properly testing the vessel's carbon fiber hull and had pushed for a classification agency to inspect and certify it. David said he was then fired in retaliation for being a whistleblower. As OceanGate says, he was fired for breaching his contract by discussing the company's confidential information with OSHA.
Wow. OSHA, bro.
They settled with David Lockridge in 2018. They did not take his advice.
2018. That is 5 years ago. That's 5 years ago, guys.
The amount of reports coming out from people that have been on the Titan, that people that are in the industry, not one of these missions to get to the Titanic has gone the way they planned for it to go. Not one. $250,000 per person. $250,000 per person to get into something that is 22 feet long with 4 other people with a remote controller, with no tether, with no technology to protect it. It doesn't even have the right material around it. And the idea was, did I say windows? No windows, no window. Like, what were y'all gonna do? Get down there and watch the movie?
I don't know. That's funny.
Fam!
Get down and watch pre-existing footage.
If there's just a tiny little slit of a window that you get to see. So I went to the bottom of the ocean to do a drive-by and see it out. Like, y'all don't even get to go and grab nothing?
You literally get to tell people, I went down to the Titanic. Like, that's all this is. You went down for bragging rights.
I really want someone to say that to me, and I want them to mean it. And my honest only response is, cool story, bro. Could not possibly care less.
No.
Could not possibly. Don't want to hear the story.
No. This is a hubris sandwich. Rudo says, as your friendly neighborhood submariner,
oh god,
them's dum-dums is done.
I mean, but is that breaking news? Because it was like this morning when I woke up, I was looking, and there was no, but by the time that, I think it was like 7 this morning.
Yeah,
they were supposed to be out of oxygen. And that's the other thing. I gotta believe. No.
What do you have to
pretend that I didn't say that part?
Okay.
Strike it. Hit the dumb button. It was a curse. No, I want to believe that people ask more questions, but I know that they don't, right? So I don't know what level of dangers everybody on the vessel knew, were aware of. But I got to believe that they were aware of some,
Mm-hmm.
and even if that some is you are being bolted in, you will not be able to get out without the help of all of these other things. Like it's a lot of things. It's not just like, the homie comes out and pushes a button on the thing. Like, y'all need help. You're not supposed to be down that far in the vessel you're in.
Right.
Like if I'm gonna make this decision to get into this thing, and you tell me that there's 96 hours of oxygen worth of oxygen for 5 people, I have questions immediately. What does that mean if somebody has a panic attack?
Right.
What does it mean if somebody really is not doing okay? What does it mean if someone dies?
Right.
Because that speeds it all up.
Yeah.
What are the changes that can happen for that oxygen to go from 96 hours to 72?
You know what they respond with? What are you with, OSHA? All these questions you got. Maybe this...
We got a whistleblower over here.
Yeah. Maybe, you know what? Maybe this trip just isn't for you. Maybe you don't have what it takes. We're reviewing so many applicants right now. People don't want to go down and see the Titanic. How about you sit it out?
And then I just want to go back to that. You mean to tell me there is demand enough for there to be a company in Everett, Washington that is just going down to see the Titanic? That's just, there's enough demand. What just happened?
This text. The sub does have one window, but it's rated to 1,400 meters. And they wanted to take it to 4,000 meters.
Yeah.
And the company said,
heck no.
But they did it anyway.
Well, but
Sketchy
which company
AF.
said heck no? Because the CEO of the company is on the vessel. People from the company, that was one of the things that David, I believe, Lockridge was fired for saying.
Right.
Hey, man, you can't put this material. That window is not rated. And yes, the one window, but honestly, again, I say, we're supposed to line up in the 5 of us taking turns peeking out of one window.
Well, you're bolting in
to see. What do you mean? I don't think into your seat. You're just bolted in, meaning they can't. They have no control of getting out of the vessel.
What do you think is going to happen to what's this, Ocean Gate? What do they call it?
Yeah, Ocean Gate, which is a strange one, guys. I'm just gonna listen.
Whenever I hear Heaven's Gate, comes to my mind immediately.
We do love a good cult. We do, Michelle, huh? Do we not? We love a good cult. This one is something else. But more than anything, there's no gates.
Not Zed.
There's no gates in the ocean. And guess who doesn't get to operate them if there were? Humans. Oh, thank you for it says the company that made the window offered to design a window that could go the depth and go that depth, and Ocean Gate guy refused.
Oh my gosh. Hubris soup with a side of hubris salad.
And that's on top of the sandwich.
Yeah, the sandwich goes in the soup, man.
It's a dipper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy moly, breaking news donuts.
Oh my goodness.
The company that made the window was like, hey guys, you've got the one that doesn't go that deep. You need this one over here. Happy to give it to you. We'll provide. And dude was like, hard pass. Don't want. Ready to go. Like, we take off tomorrow, bro. Yeah. You're not going to mess up our launch.
Yeah. Hey, man, we got a tight budget. Slim budget we're working with over here. Stop trying to upsell me.
Oh. He wasn't falling for the upsell. And that's how billionaires keep their dollars there.
Stop buying Jordans.
Okay. You know what? Thanks for listening. We're out. Stop buying Jordans.
Stop buying Jordans.
It's a weird thing, Ambush. I don't feel bad for the people that are down there. I don't. And I care about human life, and I want everyone to prosper, and I also want us to leave things alone. I am not going to be fooled, much like you said.
Yeah.
You're down there looking for Wakanda. I got a different idea.
Yeah.
I think the migrant boat going down and the billionaire boat going down, or sub going down, does in fact lend itself to the idea of trying to find a second dwelling.
Yeah. This is a self-inflicted
with a slave labor on board already. No?
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
They just don't allow that in Wakanda. So these two things don't go together.
No.
But we're going to figure out how that all works. Because what are you doing at the bottom of the ocean? Weren't y'all just mad that Ariel's black? Like, come on. There's so many different things.
Y'all just mad that Ariel's black.
What you doing down there? Who you looking for?
Tell to me.
Also, have you not seen the Meg?
I'm trying to pick up what
I just haven't watched. I definitely have not watched the full Meg. But what I have seen is what looks like a pill type of submersed vessel just getting chomped. But Jason Statham is inside, and so obviously
Jason Statham is inside. He's gonna be fine. You guys,
you can crack that thing open, and somehow he's gonna go from 4,000 meters down to the top.
He can swim at any depth.
Pressure doesn't matter. You know,
he's a
all the
transporter.
stuff.
He can swim at any depth, bro.
This is absolutely, I think, a winning response.
Okay.
They want Namor's vibranium.
Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Huh?
This story has it all. Hyperfixation on and resources allocated for danger to only an elite few, blatant corporate refusal to prioritize basic safety, and I guess man's hubris in the face of the sea and its creatures. Hey, would you please just come write the news for us?
No, yeah, that sounds like a literary masterpiece there.
Bang, bang.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit this Boebert one.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
It's quite all right.
Let's get to her.
Boebert out here embarrassing herself again.
All the time.
It's her favorite.
Won't she do it?
A surprise effort by hard right House Republicans to impeach.
Put that R in there.
Right? President Joe Biden has been sidelined for now. The impeachment resolution, which charges Biden with high crimes and misdemeanors over his handling of the U.S. border with Mexico, was filed by Representative Lauren Boebert. The resolution angered GOP colleagues who were caught off guard by the unscripted move. Even though it was not expected to pass Thursday, the vote would have been politically tough for GOP lawmakers and a potentially embarrassing spectacle for Speaker Kevin McCarthy, splitting his party.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, McCarthy negotiated a deal with Boebert to send the Biden impeachment resolution for review to the Judiciary and Homeland Security committees, fending off a vote for some time.
We got processes.
Yeah, you got to do this in order, girl. But in the sign of the right flank's determination to push ahead, Boebert said that if the committee's slow roll action, she'll bring her resolution back to the floor every day for the rest of my time here in Congress, forcing a House vote on Biden's impeachment.
She's a big girl now.
Yeah. The development underscores the House conservative flank exerts over McCarthy, forcing the speaker to accommodate hard right priorities if he wants to stay in power. It also shows the power of a single lawmaker to use the rules of the House to force a snap vote on such weighty measures as a presidential impeachment.
Can I just tell you? Oh, go ahead.
No. I was going to say the fact that this is a surprise to the Republican establishment there.
Yeah.
You mean Boebert surprised you? Boebert did something that was surprising?
Yeah.
You mean Marjorie did something off the cuff? I mean,
Marjorie did. I know you just probably meant Lauren, but
I meant both of them because,
did you see Marjorie start some beef? Because Marjorie do not mess with Messy Boebert. She does not like her.
Oh, you mean George Santos lie? I mean, you're letting these people with very large, very widely understood negative characteristics represent your party loudly. They say all the quiet parts out loud, and then you're like, "What came out of nowhere?" Okay, sure.
I mean, I hear you, and also, I think this illuminates a certain thing, and that thing is you've got what people are calling reasonable Republicans. Like a Kevin McCarthy.
Again with that.
I say, I am a firm believer in there is no such thing. There is just, different brand. And because Kevin McCarthy understands that there are certain things you do and you don't do, right? And he adheres by some of it, not all of it, obviously, but he adheres by some of it. He knows this is a performance. Right. There is no question to Kevin McCarthy that they are there to do good work or not. No, there's no question for him. He's an actor.
Right.
And I don't mean, out here, I'm not, what's his face, Alex Jones, calling anyone a crisis actor. What I mean is he's performing and he knows he's performing. He knows that I'm not really here to make the state that my constituents live in better. I'm not here to make the federal government run smoother. Like, none of those things are his thing.
Disinterested.
He knows that. But he also knows there's a whole big game that's been real fun for all these, politicians that have kept everybody out of the institutions so that they can continue to play this performative game. They are absolutely shocked every single time somebody says, your game is dumb. We could do something.
Oh, whoa.
Lauren Boebert is not that brand where she's not the brand of Republican that is going to nicely do the things. And I want you to think about how many different strategies are being deployed by the same group of people, even in this moment where they look like they're infighting. They're just all doing what they're supposed to do from the director of what their little sect is.
Right.
But it is coordinated. It's a coordinated effort. It's just not always together. So yeah, that sounds crazy. It's coordinated, but not always together. What I mean by that is that doesn't mean that McCarthy knows for certain that Boebert is going to force a vote on a Tuesday when leadership has not been a part of this conversation at all.
Right.
And he is expecting still the same respect that a Speaker of a House is supposed to receive. He's not getting that.
Right. Not at all.
Not from those folks. And he's not going to.
How many votes was it?
There's no vote because they...
Oh, no, for McCarthy to become Speaker. How
many times did it take for him to... 7,000. I don't remember the number. 8 days. 40 days. 40 nights.
They don't respect you, sir.
They never did, and they're not going to start. They don't respect themselves, but they certainly don't respect the jobs they have. Like, look, Jim Jordan out here at committees not even knowing what he's talking about, and he's the one who started the whole investigation on stuff. Like,
right.
We are having a political meltdown. Because it's just all coming, it's just all flowing. How ridiculous. How disconnected.
On its face.
How very purposeful it is to not actually get a job done.
Yep.
The job is running. The job is campaigning. The job is being reelected. The job is not to help the constituents. That should radicalize us.
Yeah.
That should not put us in a position to even think about doing anything that is normal.
But best believe this is serving someone's purpose.
Big ones.
Best believe it. Lauren Boebert isn't cooking this stuff up on her own, guys.
No, thank you. I want us to think about the people that are behind the people.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff, splitting the party, splitting the factions of fascism. Mm-hmm. The end of the goal is not Lauren Boebert's goal necessarily.
Right.
But someone like a Roger Stone, someone like a Steve Bannon, their goal is for some supremacy to rise.
Yep.
For certain very particular subset of people to be the people in charge. And that does not mean you have to just be like a white man. You just have to uphold, shout out to the Proud Boys.
Man.
You just have to be able to uphold all of the things that do, in fact, center and favor white men. But if you're down with that because, you feel like the proximity to that power is worth it, we know that exists, right? There's no question that exists. There's no question that that's happening right now in different areas,
right,
or industry. It's really, it really is, for me, scary. The tactics that conservatives are willing to go to get people so scared that they vote just or act solely based on fear. Solely based on fear of things that aren't real. There is no invasion at the border.
No. Nope.
Joe Biden does not have an open border policy. As much as I think, who in their right minds on their way over here, I am a firm believer that a human cannot be illegal. It's just not something that you get to do. And the reason that we have been able to do it is, again, shout out to white supremacy and colonization. There's too much for us to unlearn for us to even be dealing with a Boebert right now. Because, listen, barbarian. Mm-hmm. She does not care what happens to anybody. Nice. She doesn't care.
No. Nope. And she's a grandma now, so.
Well, almost.
Okay, almost, Nana.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, there's one more text that says, also give me the director's cut where Kukulkan Khan and Wakanda unite against the Western imperial powers instead of wrecking each other. Please and thank you. Yes. That's supposed to be Black Panther 3, but you see what they don't want to talk about.
They don't want to talk about. Did you already read this one? The irony of hubris. Killing people visiting the greatest monument to hubris that ever existed.
Whoa! I don't know how I missed that. Went right past it. This is, shout out to Twitter. Black Twitter has gone hamburger.
Yeah.
Not just with the orcas, but also with the missing billionaire vessel. If you want to laugh. Because that is how you process information.
Right.
Don't wait until your break. Do it now. Get right on there.
The memes are out there.
The memes are incredible. And really, these are I've seen a lot of people be like, I can't believe that you'd be laughing at people that are, yeah, man, the news isn't even talking about a boat with nearly 800 people on it because they were fleeing countries.
Right.
But that whole situation sounded a lot like there's going to be quite the information coming out of that.
Yeah.
Because Greece is out here lying. Mm. The officials are lying.
They're like, it wasn't that many people on that boat.
They're like, we wasn't over there. We didn't know until after the fact, and what it sounds like is y'all was over there trying to tow it and made it sink.
Wow. Okay.
So we could be talking about that, and instead I don't feel bad that I am laughing at people that decided that paid $250,000 per person to go to the bottom of the ocean in a thing that doesn't go to the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
With the CEO of the company that knows that thing don't go to the bottom of the ocean. Well, we got to go because it's Tom Hartman's turn.
It's true.
We love you, fiancés. I'm sorry I was so tired today. My brain is not firing the way that it normally should be. As always, a wonderful time.
Yes, the show made possible thanks to Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush and Kyle G, our podcast editor. Thank you. Shout out to the Tech Squad, Tech Fam.
Big hearts, big hugs.
The conversation. And hey, man, you know how we do. Don't let the individual distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits. Power to the people. None of us are free until we are all free. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.